During the summer of 1955, an adventurous group of people, logmen, horsepackers, cooks, and carpenters, took on the task of building a backcountry patrol cabin in a beautiful and wild region, often described as the most remote place in the lower 48 United States. It ranks as one of the most fascinating undertakings in the history of the Wyoming Game and Fish Department. For it was in 1954 that then Cody Game Division Supervisor Ronald Bell received approval to build a patrol cabin on Thorofare Creek in the Teton Forest. A memorandum of understanding between the Game and Fish and the Teton Forest was later drafted and signed, authorizing the construction of the cabin. The correct site for the cabin was very important to Bell. He ultimately selected a site near Thorofare Creek near the south boundary of Yellowstone National Park. Found here was a large meadow for grazing his horses, cold spring water for drinking, and good timber for cabin logs. With no more than 3 months to build a cabin in an area as remote and uncertain as Thorofare, Bell spent the spring of 1955 planning the cabin construction. This involved ordering construction supplies and hiring people with expertise in everything from horsepacking to carpentry. In addition, coordinating the transportation of building supplies from Cody, Wyoming to Lake Ranger Station in Yellowstone National Park, then boating this freight across Yellowstone Lake, and finally packing these same materials by pack horse to the cabin site, all fell on Bell's shoulders. By July 1955, the planning was complete, and Bell and his crew were ready to begin the cabin project. While one crew went to work boating supplies 20 miles across Yellowstone Lake, a second group began packing this same supplies the 18 miles on pack horses from the south end of the lake to the cabin construction site. Here, a third crew began the task of building the cabin. By the end of the summer, the boat crew had made nearly 40 trips across Yellowstone Lake, and pack horses carried well over 100 pack loads of supplies to the cabin site. 2 expert logmen, Axel Vicken and Howard Slim Wagner, were hired to build the cabin. Once at the site, both men immediately went to work selecting the trees to be used for the cabin logs. A big brown horse named Abe was fitted with a collar and harness and skidded many of the logs from where they were felled to the cabin site for peeling. As some of the crew busied themselves with this back-breaking work, others began pouring the cement footings that would support the cabin walls. Inscribed in these concrete footings are the names of the people